Welcome to the Irresistible Marketing Pod, the podcast that wants you to value your time more. I'm your host, Isa Gauchi, your marketing confidence cheerleader and owner of the Isa Messaging digital marketing agency for small business baddies. Let's get into today's episode, and please excuse the rustling of my puppy. So today, we're going to talk about the concept of 5 months or 5 minutes. Because what if you could fix that marketing problem you've been freaking out about for months on end in only 5 minutes? Too often, I see entrepreneurs wasting oodles of time and money trying to figure out on their own what is going wrong with their marketing. When, not to brag, but I could have told them in about 5 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that these people aren't absolutely brilliant folks and incredibly talented entrepreneurs, because they are. They're brilliant, they're talented. The thing is, they're just not marketers, or even if they've started working on it and started learning the ropes, they are not a marketer with 10 years of experience like me. And sure, they could, if they wanted to, spend all of the time, effort, and money to acquire my level of marketing expertise for themselves so that they too can take a look at it and understand what's gone wrong in 5 minutes flat. But only if they've got a decade to spare. And if they love marketing enough to go that hard on learning all the ins and outs of it for the next 10 years of their life. But seriously, do you want to do that? Do you? I suspect that you actually went into business not because you wanted to become an expert in marketing, but because you love your business. And all this trying to DIY marketing is pulling your focus away from the thing you wanted to do in the first place, to hone your craft, to help your people. Not to mention all the resulting stress from rookie mistakes, preventable blunders, and issues that have easy fixes if you know where to look when it comes to marketing. So if you are feeling called out right now, I just want you to know, you are definitely not the only one to have wasted 5 months on a marketing problem an expert could have helped you fix in 5 minutes. I'm actually going to share some real life examples in just a minute, but the point is this. Stop wasting 5 months on a marketing problem an expert could help you fix in 5 minutes. Just hire the damn expert. They're cheaper than wasting half a year or more. And if you don't have such an expert in your corner yet, please come join the squad. The squad is an on-demand expert marketing director, that's me, and creative community of eccentric entrepreneurs for the CEO who is tired of flying blind when it comes to marketing, making big waves, and big money. All right, so here's the real-life examples of how a problem entrepreneurs were struggling with for months were able to be solved pretty quickly, like 5 minutes or less, when they made the decision to invest in getting an expert opinion, getting someone who knows what they're looking at to look at their data, etc. So example number 1 was a client with a chain of successful stores was feeling really down because their online sales were so far below their peers in their industry digitally. Like sales for their in-person stores were doing great, but they couldn't help but wonder, why aren't people freaking checking out when they come to our website? Especially when their landing pages were getting such great traffic whenever they directed a social media boost to a page or an ad, or were posting really regularly in their content marketing. So the answer was this. Simpler than you might think. When you got to the product pages, the color scheme and design of their website made it really super hard to tell whether or not an item had been added to the cart. And if you couldn't find the cart or tell whether anything had been added, you'd have one hell of a time figuring out where the hell the checkout page was at all. And if you somehow, even though there was no indication anything was in the cart, it was hard to see the cart, there was no flash of acknowledgement when you added something to the cart, even if you still figured out where to click and clicked on your cart and got to the checkout page, if you somehow made it there, there were so many competing buttons and options that were competing for visual real estate that it made it a challenge to figure out how to just buy the damn thing. Like even if you were really motivated to give this business your money, it would be a struggle. So the fix was this. We chose a new theme for the website, a new color scheme so that it made the checkout process much more intuitive and user-friendly. It was really easy to see when stuff had been added to the cart. It was really easy to get over to the checkout page. And then when you got to the checkout page, there was a clear, easy path to enter your information, select your method of payment, and just check out. This was after months of the business owner assuming it was just something about them that customers didn't like. They just didn't like their business the way they liked other people's businesses. And they struggled and stewed in this emotional turmoil for quite a while. And this is not to blame that business owner or anyone else who doesn't know this is an option. But if you have a problem like that where you're like, I just don't get it. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? I hope that you value your time, your energy, your business, your effort enough to make the investment to talk to someone who can help you figure it out quickly, rather than you making the investment in just, I can figure it out even if it takes me months, even if it feels like really painful to figure it out, even if I go chase a lot of rabbits in the wrong directions. Because it wasn't anything about this business or this business owner at all that customers weren't liking. It was simply that their website was difficult to use. Easy fix. All right, so another example is I had a great client who was wondering why their ads were attracting so many bad fit clients. Because their Google ads were technically performing spectacularly. They were getting tons of views and impressive click-through rates, but the customers that they were attracting, all wrong. They wondered why on earth so many straight men were coming in for a super duper queer service. So the answer was this. The messaging for their ads was just too general. From a quick skim of the ad headline and description language, you'd have no idea that the service was supposed to be exclusively for LGBTQ plus folks. This went on for months to my clients' deep frustration until they came to me and I looked at the data, I looked at the messaging, and I was able to identify the problem and the solution super quickly. So we put the who the service was for front and center. So we made that language a lot more queer, a lot more LGBTQ plus friendly and targeted in the headlines and the descriptions of the ads and the images on the landing page, even on the link language for wherever they were supposed to click on something. And voila, the ads started attracting much more aligned clients. Example number 3 was a wonderful client who was wondering why they were getting so many unsubscribes for their emails. So they had an actually impressively ginormous email list and they had their marketing strategy at the time was to pour a lot of love into their newsletters. They were sending them out a bunch. They were taking care to design them well, to pick out the messaging, to have lots of things to link to. But they were really disappointed to just watch their unsubscribe rate spike. Disheartening to say the least. So the answer to this, when I was able to get in there, when they made the decision to invest in working with me and I was able to get in there and dig into their data, look at some history, was that I noticed that their contact list was not properly segmented, meaning that marketing emails went out just to the whole list a lot of the time. So some might go out to customers about a product that they had already bought, or emails requesting donations from, kind of like their deep pocket philanthropic supporters were going out to casual customers for offers that were like less than $10, and they're volunteers. So obviously, if you're getting an email that's obviously not for you, and that happens a lot, you're probably going to hit unsubscribe, right? Because you're like, I'm on this list by mistake. And then plus, because they were sending these out to everyone, the email blasts were really long and included messages for everyone, which required readers to skim to find something relevant to them. And if you just think about your own email behavior, when was the last time you got an email from a business and skimmed and scrolled for a while all the way to the bottom? When was the last time you actually read word for word an email from a business? Like, it's actually not typical buying behavior. That's why MailChimp recommends you keep your emails to 200 words or less, which is about half a page of text, give or take. So this is why you've probably seen, if you've been researching this, you've probably seen a lot of recommendations that you keep your email campaigns short and sweet and targeted. So how we fixed this was we got Tag Happy. Their email platform, which was MailChimp, allows you to tag your audience so that whenever you send out an email blast, you can send it to specific audience members. So only the most relevant message to the most relevant audience, etc. So we tagged their contact list according to what they had bought, signed up for, how active they were, etc., etc., etc. There's so many ways you can do this that gives you the ability to send really targeted specific emails to really targeted specific audiences. Then, instead of sending out bulk email blasts with a little something for everyone, we took the little something for everyone and split it all up into separate emails that went directly to the audience it was most relevant for. So we limited the campaigns to one message per campaign, which made them all much shorter, sweeter, and way more effective. Suddenly click-through rates were going up and unsubscribe rates were going way down. All right, last example I will share of this today was a fabulously talented client who was wondering, why am I not getting testimonials? So she was getting like absolute rave reviews whenever she held an event. Her DMs and comment sections would be like filled with positive feedback. Yet whenever they'd send out a form to collect a testimonial, they'd get nothing back, which was really disheartening. And so when I got in there and looked at the problem, I realized it was this. It was the form itself. It was so impersonal. It required several clicks to even get there in the first place. And then there were a lot of questions and it took several minutes to fill out. It was something like so impersonal and kind of like, just fill this thing out. And this is not to, shame this particular customer or my several other customers who have done the same thing and had similar results. This is, I think, common advice out there in the business influencing world. Just give them a form. I have found for myself and across my clients that this is actually not an effective way to get testimonials and rave reviews. Just sending out a form, it feels kind of impersonal. It feels a little like something a big corporation might send out. And for the person receiving that, just this kind of impersonal businessy form, from their perspective, they're like, how much would it really matter to this business if I filled out this form or not? I bet this is going out to hundreds or thousands of people. Like, what does my input matter? That was the impression that these forms were leaving people with. So they weren't really getting a lot of bites, or any in some cases, from a form. So the fix that I recommended was this. I actually scripted an email template for them so that she could send a direct personal email or direct message on social media to happy clients, to people who have shared positive feedback in the comments, given her a lot of verbal positive feedback or events, etc. We drafted this script that she could just kind of like adjust depending on the situation. So it's not like she has to write a whole new message every time. And she could send it just a one-on-one message, her to the client, her to the participant, requesting a testimonial and explaining what a long way it goes to establish the reputation of a new small business or a new offer, etc., etc. And we also made sure to let them know that we were reaching out to them specifically, them the individual, because they are such an aligned ideal client and we really want to attract more people just like them into the business. And so having their public review would do such wonders to attract more people just like them into the business. And you can definitely bet that she got testimonials after that. You can for sure bet that she did. That changed the game. So those are just 4 examples of this. I have a zillion of them in the old noodle, but the question I keep coming back to, and I want to remind people when you're thinking like, okay, but Isa, I've seen your prices. I know it's an investment to work with you. It's, a few $100s to just book a one-off session. It's recurring payments if I'm going to join a cheerleading program with you. And my question is this. Yes, it's an investment. It is an investment because I believe you're going to get back at least tenfold what you put in money-wise into my programs, or in terms of insights or lessons or downloads or clarification. Like there's a lot you're going to get out of working with me. But also, It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you energy. It's going to cost you effort, and it's going to cost you your spirit to keep spinning your wheels for months on something I could have told you how to fix in 5 minutes flat. Like, do you want to spend those 5 months chasing your tail, trying to find the solution on your own, scrapping it together, being disappointed, stumbling over and over and over again? Or do you want to get the answer in 5 minutes, pay for that answer up front, and then spend the next 5 months rapidly accelerating your business? Giving your marketing a major boost and getting results faster and better than you've ever seen before. Which way would you like to spend those 5 months? Which way is more economical? Which way is more practical? Which way is more responsible? Which way is more supportive? And which way feels better in your body, in your heart, in your mind when you think of how you want to spend the next months of your life or longer? I've seen how much time and money my favorite entrepreneurs have lost to not having an expert like me that they could turn to at an accessible price. And that's why I made this squad. So if you have been one of those folks that goes to my one-on-one program Season of Supports page over and over again, and you're like, I'm not ready for the investment, that is okay. The squad is at a much more accessible price, and it's fabulous. There is so much you are going to get out of this place. It is a creative community of excellently eccentric entrepreneurs designed for the CEO who is tired of going it alone and flying blind on marketing decisions and investing in the wrong fixes and trying to connect and share about their experiences with people that are only going to deflate them or rain on their parade. So with the squad, you get access to an on-demand expert marketing director. That's me. And I'm someone with more than a decade of experience of rapidly accelerating sales followings and turning good dreams into real-life good times for businesses of all shapes and sizes. And here's the deal. It's not a lot of effort on your part. I know you're a busy entrepreneur. I know you are busy wearing a lot of hats, and you don't want just another, here's how to do it yourself. You want things to get smoother and easier and less stressful and less overwhelming. So we have designed this program with you specifically in mind. We're going to meet 2 times a month over Zoom. And of course, you can get the replay if the live times don't work for you. But I highly recommend that you come live if you can, so I can get my eyes on your actual business and answer your questions. But if the lives really aren't at an accessible time for you, you'll have a form, a simple form you can fill out to submit questions or have me review stuff, etc. So no matter what your schedule is like, you get my eyes on your business. You get your questions answered by me. So you meet 2 times a month. One is for a mini marketing class that's really short and sweet, and then followed by a business lab. So all contained within about an hour, hour and a half, where we'll get into your actual business to massively accelerate your marketing results, where we can look at your actual data. We can talk through your messaging. We can structure your sales page. We can troubleshoot anything that's going wrong in your funnel, etc., etc. And then the other time we meet during the month is for a group marketing confidence cheerleading session where I will coach you through melting whatever block is preventing you from making your marketing magical and magnetic and potent and powerful. And this is regardless of whether it's a strategic, tactical, emotional, or mindset block. Because we all know the way you show up to your marketing matters, especially if you are a personal brand, etc. People connect with other people easier than they do with a brand. So we got to get you ready to draw people in, and we got to get all of you on board and aligned so that there isn't part of you that's like, I don't know what to do if I have any more pressure on me. So you're like subconsciously repelling clients even when you consciously think you're trying to pull in more sales. All right, so you also get access to a private YouTube feed with our entire archive of squad content, as well as all of the masterclasses I've previously released, as well as some guided meditations and some other goodies, so that even when we're not in session, even when you're on your own, even if you woke up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat about your launch, there's always going to be content for you to turn to, for you to feel soothed, supported, reassured, and to inspire you to take the next right action that feels good and aligned in your body and in your business and for your people. Plus, in adding to that, you're never going to be alone. We're going to have a private Facebook group where we're all going to hype each other up, where we are all going to celebrate each other's wins, because when one of us wins by doing the impossible in real time, the rest of our confidence and faith that it's possible for us is bolstered. So no raining on each other's parades here. No one telling you to be more realistic or practical. No, that's not what's happening here. We are hyping each other up to shoot the moon. And then in this Facebook group, if you are at the regular membership, you can post any marketing collateral you're struggling with or any metrics problem you're struggling with, and I will review it for you. So my eyes on your business, I will review it for you. I'll review it for you in the group so we can all learn from each other, the lessons we're going through, etc., etc. Or if you want to take the VIP option, we can do this privately in a one-on-one thread. And so speaking of that, so yes, everybody gets free copy editing in the Facebook group. There's also a VIP tier where you get one-on-one cheerleading with me via a private one-on-one text or email thread that I will check and respond to daily, Tuesday through Friday. So if you're in a period in your business where it just feels like marketing is really overwhelming, everything's going wrong, you're getting stuck a lot, you have me as a lifeline. Whenever you need me. You have me there for pep talks. You have me there for suggestions, for copy editing, for strategy, for pivots, for should I do A or B, etc., etc., etc. You get access to me to be your Just Add Water marketing director, your cheerleader in your back pocket, so that you are never alone, never unsupportive, never flying blind. All right, so for the squad, the link to join is in the comments. I hope to see you there. It's going to be such a party. I'm so excited for the people who have already joined, and I'm so excited for the people that are about to join. And I also want to let you know that I do have a free virtual masterclass coming up on Tuesday, January 2nd, called How to Massively Speed Up Your Marketing Results, Even on a Tight Budget. And in this masterclass, we'll cover how to embrace a strategic leadership role for marketing without actually having to do all the marketing yourself. The link to register for free is also in the show notes, though I highly encourage that you attend live if you can so I can answer your questions. But still sign up if you can't join us live so you can get those business wisdom mic drops on the replay. All right. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved today's episode and would like to keep them coming, please show me some love by subscribing and dropping me some stars and a glowing review. Y'all know it goes such a long way to help others find this fabulous free resource, and it makes me feel so good and so loved to know that you are getting a kick out of this content I'm making for you. All right, have a great day. Bye.